the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the New Orleans Pelicans up against the New York Knicks. Looking at New York, they want to turn it around after the loss to San Antonio. That game was a shootout. Defense will be the key tonight for them to bounce back with a win. And here we go, toe-to-toe, two of the most formidable front courts in the NBA. Shaq, tonight, how do you see this battle of the bigs being played out?
Well, it's not checkers, but it'll definitely be a chess match in the terms of rotations, substitutions. Each team will try to establish itself very, very early.
I thought maybe it'd be a lot more physical than a chess match.
Oh, chess can be physical. You didn't watch Bobby Fischer? He's still missing.
Well, stretch bigs will try to put shot blockers, away from the basket. And then when you get those shot blockers away, you get drives to the rim. So the power bigs, they try to throw their weight around on the blocks, but overall, the stretch bigs separate the floor.
I think it's time to tip this thing off. Kevin Harlan has the call, and we'll see you later.
It's the Pelicans at home for a little interconference action in New Orleans. Happy holidays, everyone, from all of us at 2K Sports. And do we have a present for you today? With Doris Burke and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sidelines. The Knicks will end their road trip here before heading back to New York. They just haven't been able to buy a break lately. 5 of their last 6 games have been losses.
Well, I think for New York, hanging where they are, right in the middle of the standings, will not make things easy for them down the stretch.
Oh, that's for sure. This is where the pressure really starts to build. Any little slip-up between here and the end of the season, and they could find themselves sitting at home for the playoffs.
Now let's send it down to David Aldridge, standing by from the sidelines. David?
Well, guys, Kristaps Porzingis was taken with the 4th pick in 2015, and he was considered a project then. But he's shown himself ready, and part of that has been his mentality. He said they thought I was afraid, but that's not who I am. I'll never back down from anybody. If I want to succeed, I can't be scared of anybody. I've got to be fearless out there on the court. Kevin?
Thanks, GA. And what's scary is Porzingis is only going to get better. That kind of fearlessness will help him in the long run. About halfway into the season, Doris, teams are already separating themselves from the pack. What are some of the elements you are looking for right now as you take a look at those top teams and trying to figure out a championship contender?
So you know that line, it's about the economy, stupid. It's about the players, right? You got to have players. You got to have stars. The contending teams always have at least 2 or 3 stars. So let's begin there. The other part is you've got to have the right role players around the stars. Think about the Draymond Greens. Think about the Kevin Loves. Guys in those positions that are in support of maybe the guys who have the ball in their hands. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron James. There's got to be an unselfishness, a professionalism, a commitment. All the things that make championships possible on any number of levels.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. Setting the floor for the Knicks. They've got Enes Kanter. Kristaps Porzingis is out there with Hardaway. Then there's Emmanuel Mudiay. And it's Ntilikina in at the shooting guard position.
And just the rugged nature of Cousins, getting into the body there offensively.
Here's Ntilikina. He had a 24-point outing in their last game against the Spurs in San Antonio. From the wing. And that one hits back iron. On defense, New York. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with San Antonio.
And guys, a loss like that, that's one when you just got to put it behind you as quickly as possible.
It's a barometer, though. You know where you need to improve and by how much to win these kinds of games. I love to see them pound it inside like that, not settling for the perimeter shot.
For New York, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. First quarter, about a minute and a half in. Rondo with the steal. The pass to Cousins. And then Cousins with the dunk.
Yeah, you got to respect the awareness level of Rondo. When his teammates have a clean look at the basket, the ball gets there without hesitation.
Here's Ntilikina. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. Outside Hardaway. Here's Cantor. And the rejection by Cousins.
You just can't get those kinds of shots past Cousins. When he's in the area, he's really good at getting a hand on the ball.
And the whistle stops gameplay. It's not a clean block shot. Instead, a shooting foul. And we'll see free throws coming up right here. The Pelicans shooting their first free throws of the game.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The free throw drops for Rondo. Well, a few things have become clear with Rondo in the past few seasons. 1, Greg, he needs to be happy with his situation in order to be productive. And 2, he can give you big numbers at times, but he isn't the player he once was on that Celtic team.
Yeah, and Rondo, he's such a hard-headed guy and has his own way of approaching things. If you clash with him, everything goes up in flames with his game. Needs to be on the same page with his coach, and he's running out of coaches who will put up with him.
And so here is New York, trailing by 5, getting their first look of the season at this Pelicans team.
Yeah, and a pair of losses for them in their meetings last season. And the cold hard truth about it, they just had a hard time beating anybody last year.
So it's the Pelicans now after Enes Kanter's miss. Holiday with the 3. And again, New Orleans has no luck. And a fast break now for New York. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Pelicans leading by 3. Rondo kicks to Davis. Back to Rondo. To the middle. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
How about he has yet to miss 4-4 to start? Yeah, and last season, DeMarcus Cousins moving on in that blockbuster trade. Really impossible to get equal value for a star like Cousins, but he was pleased, I think, to put all the rumors of being traded to bed.
1 shot, gentlemen.
And that one falls for DeMarcus Cousins. And with Cousins, he found out that he was being traded to the Pelicans while at the All-Star game in New Orleans.
And it's never easy fitting in with another star like the Brow, but Cousins is just so skilled that you knew they would find a balance. And at the end of the day, Cousins seems to be happy with the team who's committed to him.
Porzingis, that's a 2. It's rebounded by Rondo.
Boy, with that much space around him, maybe he's better off attacking the basket than settling for the jumper.
Over in the corner, Moutier buries it from 3-point range. Moutier's got 5.
I love the fact that Ntilikina is skilled at being a ball mover. He's got a pass-first mentality, and that's winning basketball.
Now here's Rondo. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. And there it is for him.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
And here are the Knicks now, following the score by New Orleans. And looking back at last season, here's a look at the 3-point and 2-point shot attempt averages for the Pelicans.
And their offense centered around a 3-point shot. That was the guiding principle. on every trip. Their first goal was finding an open look beyond the arc, getting that extra point every chance they could.
New Orleans leading by 5. Pass to Davis.
Holiday.
Dishes to Cousins. And that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. And let's focus briefly on an area we often overlook. Point guard rebounding. Here are the leaders in that category over the past 10 games. Number 5 is Emmanuel Mudiay.
And this is a unique group of players. It's not often we talk about the rebound leaders at the point, but with these guys, it's warranted because of just how well they do.
No, exactly. These guys will scrap. The majority of point guards in the league make their living strictly on the perimeter, but not these guys. They're just as comfortable down low as they are outside.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Knicks trail by 7. There's the feed to Cantor. Outside Hardaway. Back to Cantor. Shoots over Cousins. And the Knicks miss again.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
They get it back. Davis. Great D that time from Hardaway.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there. Oh, a good open look, and he sprays it home from 3.
Here's Rondo after New York gets the 3. He feeds it to Holiday. Good. And it's Rondo who picks up the assist. Holiday's got his first basket. And the Knicks with possession here. 6-point game. Pass to Porzingis. Cantor, high post. Screen by Porzingis. And again, it's New York.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
Right. The effort could have been so much better. You've got to be willing to fight through that screen. There's no question about it.
Now here is Holiday. He's coming off a 13-point game against Dallas. Here's Ntilikina, guarded by Holiday. Holiday with another miss.
Well, despite his struggles from the field in this period, you know he's going to keep asking for the basketball.
Kicks it to Mudiay. Here's the 3. It's rebounded by New Orleans. They come into this one following the loss to the Mavericks.
You know, they worked hard, they drew fouls, but they just couldn't convert at the line.
I think that's the most frustrating thing, right? You've earned the opportunity to take those free throws, and you don't cash in at the line.
Now, Mudiay following the 3-point attempt by Anthony Davis.
Well, Jeff Hornacek was chosen to be the head coach of the New York Knicks with the understanding that the triangle offense would be part of the system put in place. Now, with the change in the front office, that is no longer the case, guys.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans. Well, Hornacek probably more comfortable with an up-tempo modern style, and Doris will see what he does with this new offensive freedom. A platoon swap here for New Orleans. And a new group in for the Knicks. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Enes Kanter. Beasley comes in for Hardaway. Lee's checked in for Ntilikina. And Trey Burke subbed in for Emmanuel Mudiay. Now here's Moore. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Here's Diallo. And it's blocked by O'Quinn.
Just such nice timing by O'Quinn on that block.
Beasley with a clean look. That doesn't go on the chance to tie.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's not how you capitalize on the offensive end. You simply have to be more patient.
Miller kicks to Mirotic. No good from outside. New York's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. There's the dish to Burke. They grabbed their own miss. Here's Porzingis. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup. And while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not. But sure enough, they have. So he'll head to the free throw line.
And watching Porzingis play, you forget how tall he really is in terms of how he moves. Not only how quick he is, but also that skill set. Incredible that a player his size won the skills competition in last year's All-Star festivities.
And they now lead as the free throw drops for him.
So the 4th pick of the 2015 draft class, who some said was picked too high, Porzingis. Good job silencing the critics.
And Moore kicks to Clark. No good again that time. And that is what fools a lot of NBA fans about Porzingis. Most of the highlights, Greg, you see are his blocks and putback dunks. But if you watch his game, you see that skill level.
It's rare to see a player who's the complete package like Porzingis. I mean, he's fluid. He's got the easy-looking shot. It almost looks like he's a guard shooting the basketball, comfortable creating for himself or playing off others.
Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Porzingis has got his 2nd bucket tonight.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
So it's the Knicks now. Beasley outside. Over Miller. Takes the 12-footer and hits. And the Knicks lead by 3. The Pelicans shooting just about an even 40% to start. Here's Clark. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Mirotic, a screen on Beasley. Beasley with the steal. And a fast break now for New York. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And with the chance, let's take a look now at the numbers for Porzingis. 2nd in blocks, 4th in three-point field goal percentage, and ranked among the top 10 in scoring. He can fill it up with the best of them.
And as you said, 1 rung below the leader in block shots. Tremendous motor. He's simply been destroying opponents in the lane. And that one falls for Burke. And Doris, you look at the Knicks team, and clearly the future is going to be built around Porzingis.
Well, and you think back to the Knicks mortgaging away their future at times to make a run at the playoffs, but I think it's now time to build from the ground up. They've got some draft picks to work with going forward, and though it may not be immediate, Porzingis is a nice centerpiece to build around.
Doris, you've seen the game from many different angles. If you were a general manager, what would you look for if you were hiring a coach?
You know, it seems to me one of the most important aspects of being a head coach in the NBA, your ability to be a people person, to relate, to pull the strings that motivate different types of players. You know, I look at someone like Steve Kerr, who seems to have such a great feel for the pulse of his team, that seems to understand the players who respond well to sort of him getting in their grill. The other players who maybe need to be pulled aside privately because pride is in play. Listen, everybody has X's and O knowledge as a head coach in the NBA, or they wouldn't be in that position. To me, it's as much about managing egos and minutes and being a good person and invested in those players as it is the X and O's.
Have you ever seen a great coach who wasn't also a great communicator in their own way?
No, I think communication may be the #1 skill aside from obviously basketball acumen.
Burke hits them both. Pelicans trail by 3. Clark kicks to Moore. Here's Mirotic. Beasley with the rebound. New York with the ball. They're on a 17-7 run. New York, no good that time either. New Orleans has gone a meager 1 of 6 from three-point land since we got started tonight. Mirotic's shot is off. New York leading by 3. Knocked loose. Here's Clark. Beasley with the rebound. Beasley's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Thomas, it's a wide open look. Again, Thomas missing. Well, for New Orleans, shooting in this first quarter, around 38%. They're looking a bit creaky out there. More. Beasley with the rebound. Beasley's got his 4th rebound in this one. Fires the 3. And there's Burke. That's good on the assist by Thomas. And that's now 6 points for Trey Burke. Burke's gone 1 of 2 from three-point land. 1:22 left here in the opening quarter. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, and the Pelicans, after making the playoffs in 2015, had some high expectations with superstar Anthony Davis, but last year was a bit of a disappointment, and it forced them to kind of pull the trigger and go out and land DeMarcus Cousins. So their fortunes now, I think, are going to be held by those 2 anchors on the front line.
2 shots.
First free throw is good. Greg, what would you say is the key for the Pelicans to get back in the playoff mix?
There's several. I think rebounding was a big problem. The trade for Cousins should help in that area, and every team needs more shooting. But I think in particular, this group does. And then first and foremost, look, you got to stay healthy. Hard to figure out what you have when you never get a chance to see it.
And the New Orleans Pelicans last season with one of the worst offensive rebounding percentages in history.
Yeah, I mean, it improved somewhat with DeMarcus Cousins coming in. But I think really it's the team's philosophy, though. They value getting back in transition more than they value a chance to attack that offensive glass.
And that one's good by Clark.
Boy, you have got to love the dime, the pass on time and on target.
Burke kicks to O'Quinn. To the middle, the 8-footer. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. And the Knicks lead by 4.
Just terrific focus by Lance Thomas, converting inside against some pretty spirited defense.
They set the screen, and Mirotic has it in the corner. Misses the 3. New York's gone 3 of 6, 50% from deep so far tonight. Shot and game clock separated by 5. Lee passes to O'Quinn. Now here's Burke. Defense right on him. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
Well, it's not the defense that caused that miss. That one's all on him.
To the left wing. Mirotic has a wide open look from outside off the mark. And that does it for the first quarter. Knicks lead by 4. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Knicks?
Protecting that rim early on, that's been a big factor for them tonight.
I'll tell you, rejection after rejection. The other team having a tough time scoring.
Here's Clark. Here are the 5 New York has to start here in the second. We've got Lee. Beasley is out there with Kyle O'Quinn. Then it's Thomas. And it's Burke in at the point. From outside the arc. Good on that shot. With that, the Knick lead is cut down to just 1 on the bucket from Mirotic.
And when you've got a big man who can shoot from distance like that, what a huge advantage.
Lee dishes to Thomas. Over Miller. Good D by Miller.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Well, that's just stellar interior defense. You can't ask for anything more than that.
And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. Or something that's become popular, debating whether a player is a star or a superstar. To you, What's the major difference between those two thoughts?
To me, the biggest difference between star and superstar are those guys who are willing to absorb the label on a night-by-night basis and a moment-by-moment basis. You can't disappear when the stakes get high. You can't disappear on a February night in the middle of the grind pre-All-Star break. Greatness requires you to come with it every single night.
And they don't care about the conversation about them. They're bulletproof in some ways, very thick-skinned.
Very Kobe-like attribute you just referenced.
Very good comparison. And the free throw is good, now leading by 1.
Boy, he's just been so consistent, right? I mean, every time he's gotten to the stripe, he's delivered. This is great stuff.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, guys, Emmanuel Mudiay spent a year in China prior to the NBA rather than playing in college. A lot of people respect what he did while he was over there. He said, being in a foreign country, everything is different. It made me mentally strong. Now in the NBA, he said, you've got to have confidence because every point guard in this league can play. You've got to keep that edge and be prepared at all times. Kevin?
Thanks, David. Mental fortitude is critical, especially when you're a young player in this league.
Boy, you got to give it to the big fella from Norfolk State. O'Quinn making his presence felt on the second chance opportunities.
Back to Clark. Miller kicks to Mirotic. Good, and Miller gets the assist. Mirotic has got 6 points in the quarter.
Well, after hitting 0 from distance in the first, that's his second make this quarter.
Beasley with it, now guarded by Mirotic. New York moving the ball around, feeds it to Thomas. Back to Beasley, and it's Beasley finishing it off.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run for him there.
Yeah, with the score this tight, someone has to come over and take the charge, or at least contest the shot.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. Lance Thomas, a bit of a tweener forward. He can fill in at either spot and eat minutes for a team while Doris still giving you solid production at both ends of the floor.
Right. What Lance brings is a guy who can play with his back to the basket or facing up. Decisive with his movements when he has the ball. Consistency, I'd say, is the only issue for him at times.
A platoon swap here for New Orleans. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Greg from his one-and-done season at Kentucky, leading college basketball in block shots. We knew Anthony Davis could dominate defensively, but did you have any idea he'd be this good offensively?
None. I mean, with his length and athleticism, you knew he'd have an impact as a finisher. But the way his shooting has developed, it has been remarkable. Now, granted, this was a guy that at one point was recruited to play point guard coming out of high school, but he's playing more like a shooting guard with his skill set.
Well, you just look back on the history of the New York Knicks and what rich history and tradition they have as a franchise, the different eras, the different groups they've had, some of the more memorable teams in NBA history.
And he sinks the second. And thinking back to great players and teams from the Knicks, Doris, you can look at teams in any decade and find memorable players.
Well, listen, if you're talking about the 1970s, it's Willis Reed. You're talking about the 80s and 90s. You're talking about Bernard King, Patrick Ewing, Allen Houston, the great Pat Riley at the helm. And more recently, you're talking about the likes of Carmelo Anthony. The Knicks have had some ballers in their history.
It's stolen by Mudiay. Puts up a 3. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Cousins has got his 3rd rebound on the night. And Holiday has it in the corner. Out to the wing. Puts one up from 19. It's rebounded by New York. And a fast break now for New York. Here's Ntilikina, guarded by Holiday. The 3 from Thomas. That shot no good. And New Orleans will go the other way with it. Rondo kicks to Davis. He dishes it to Liggins. Out of bounds. New York takes possession.
And let's see the stat sheet here on Enes Kanter. Over the last month, he has been spectacular. 13th in field goal percentage. And don't forget, top 20 in the league in rebounds per game. He's got a great nose for the ball.
And as you mentioned, one of the more efficient scorers in pro basketball. He challenges defenders with his bravado. And more often than not, he prevails. So the wing on the left. Pass to Ntilikina. Kanter sets the pick for Hardaway. Goes back up. The putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And the Knicks lead by 1.
I love that Kanter will pursue rebounds out of his area. This guy's such a powerful player who's willing to exert his will.
Now here's Moutier. He's covered by Rondo. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's on Rajon Rondo. And with Moutier, although he is a heavy rotation player, Greg, he is still somewhat of a project long term.
You know, it isn't always easy to be patient with Moutier, but that's what is needed. Slowly improving his efficiency, which is a big issue for him. And you can see the raw potential, but he has a lot of smaller things to clean up.
First one falls for him. Doris, what an honor. Inducted into your college's Hall of Fame, something not many of us can say. What does that kind of honor do for the confidence for you personally going forward?
You know what? Providence College is a place that means a great deal to me. So what that Hall of Fame induction did was just remind me of all the special memories that I shared with my teammates. I'm close with many of them today. And Kevin, you know this. You know, if you've ever been inside a locker room, it's those moments when you're laughing until your stomach hurts. I'd say we were the Hall of Fame fun team. That's what I'd say.
I think we're on the fun team here on 2K. They get the rebound. Here's Davis. Here's Cousins. That's in there. Davis with the assist. 13 points here for Cousins.
And his inside game is about as good as it gets. Cousins loves operating out of that low block, and there isn't much any opposing defense can do to stop him.
Moutier, no good.
I'll tell you, he's been dry from three-point range in the second quarter after hitting one in the first.
Rondo passes to Davis. Cousins dishes to Holiday. Baseline try, and it's New Orleans scoring again.
That's just an incredible find coming from the big man. No debating Cousins' smarts on the court. He picks out a pass there that not many guys would have seen.
Nice shot by Porzingis. No shortage of drama here early on.
Yeah, 8 lead changes already. Huge number this early.
Davis sets a screen. Rondo kicks to Davis. Looks for Holiday. Gets it to him.
And they've got to keep him off the glass. For a little guy, he can be a handful on the offensive boards if you're not aware of it.
New York's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Pass to Kanter. Here's Porzingis. They grab their own miss.
That's just sheer determination on the offensive glass, beating everyone to the spot for the tip-in.
The Pelicans trail. Outside Rondo. Screen by Cousins. Poked away. Hardaway with the steal. And the foul called on DeMarcus Cousins. That is his first foul of the game. We've seen them struggle on the half-court offense.
I had a coach that once told me sometimes guys just try to self-will it too much, whether it's getting out on the break or scoring in the half court. You've got to do it as a unit.
Now, really found his stroke here in the second quarter after missing everything in the first.
Screen by Cousins. Davis with a screen on Hardaway. Here's Cousins. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Cousins has got 4 this quarter.
And Cousins with that aggressive scoring mentality. This is a guy who wants to dominate.
Porzingis against Davis. Porzingis kicks to Hardaway. There's the triple, and it's Porzingis that time on the assist from Hardaway. And that's now 10 points for Porzingis.
Well, he's one of those guys who's kept their offense clicking. They're in front thanks in no small part to what this guy's done.
And Holiday kicks to Davis, and it's Davis finishing it off.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure. New York's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. There's a screen by Cantor. Hardaway kicks to Cantor. Lets a floater go, and Davis pulls it down. New Orleans has gotten both of their three-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter. Outside Rondo. Davis inside. He's against Cantor, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. It's on Porzingis. The Pelicans have made 7 out of 9 when they've stepped to the line.
And in terms of team numbers, the free throw percentage is right at 74.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good.
Boy, showing a lot more aggressiveness now after making 0 trips to the line in the first quarter.
Mirotic is checked in for DeAndre Liggins. And he sinks the second. And the Pelicans at last season's trade deadline making the big deal for DeMarcus Cousins.
You know, you look at Anthony Davis being paired with Cousins, and certainly on paper you could make the argument that they've got the best 1-2 punch on the front line in the league. 2 Kentucky guys, great size and offensive skill in terms of their versatility. If they can surround them with shooters and some perimeter defense, I think this group could be scary. And when you look at the Pelicans, you got to expect for them to be one of the top defensive teams in the league. You've got the Twin Towers down low, and Drew Holiday is in the top handful, I think, of defensive point guards in the league.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good. And Drew Holiday at 6'4", great size for the point guard position.
And his height enables him to cover shooting guards. At the same time, he does a great job of keeping smaller players in front of him.
Looking who's out there now for the Pelicans. Miller comes in for Davis, and Ian Clark subbed in for Rajon Rondo.
He's only listed at 6'4", but Holiday plays bigger than that. That's the case on D more than anywhere else. He can guard 3 positions, and there's a lot of value in that.
Mirotic against Porzingis. Up top, O'Quinn. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Burke. Cousins pulls it in. Cousins has got 4 rebounds in this game. Guys, this offense very effective.
And guys, the defense has been no match. They've just picked them apart. How about that one? Able to maintain control and finish the play. And when Mirotic first came over to the NBA, he made a big splash, showed that he can act as that stretch 4 and contribute. Unfortunately, he just hasn't evolved as a player since that rookie year.
Looking who's out there now for the Pelicans. Diallo, he's checked in for Cousins. And it's E'Twaun Moore checking in for Drew Holiday.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. 1 shot.
That one misses for Mirotic. And for Mirotic, a lot of his lack, Greg, of progression as a player has come from inconsistency.
And you can see it in his field goal percentage as well as when he plays. It needs to find more consistency in every facet of the game. But young enough, I think, to still make that happen.
And here is Moore. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Here's Clark. He made that one. Basket number 3 for him. He's also missed 2.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Now Burke. 6 points for him. Now the pass to Porzingis. Shoots over Mirotic. And that's going to be a travel.
And a quick review, looking at some numbers here for Mirotic. He's putting up 13 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. And this is the kind of strong, steady play you like to see. He's earning his keep and helping them win games.
I think they need more consistency from him, and they're getting it. Look for this to continue. I love it.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Beasley kicks to Burke. Porzingis inside, covered by Mirotic. Offensive rebound. O'Quinn off the mark. His first miss of the game, 1 for 2. Here's Moore. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. And the Pelicans lead by 6. New York's gotten into trouble with the 3 ball in the second quarter, only hitting 1 of 5 attempts. Burke dishes to O'Quinn. Porzingis passes to Burke. Some nice passing by New York here. And O'Quinn slams it in.
Yeah, nothing too flashy there, but O'Quinn certainly able to punch it down with authority because he is a big body.
Here's the screen. No good from Clark.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
No, exactly, Greg, especially when the ball is that deep inside. You've got to respect how he altered that shot. I'll tell you, if he keeps missing shots, it's going to be a tough night to try to trim this lead.
Miller, no luck.
Boy, just enough defensive attention to throw that shot off target.
Burke kicks to Lee. From the arc. Hits it from 3-point range. Lee's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
Yeah, just no reason Lee should be left to shoot open shots from there. He's a remarkable long-distance shooter.
Moore dishes to Clark. Kick out to Moore. A 3-pointer, no good. New York trailing and pushing it up. Here's New York. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
Now, this guy's a tremendous free throw shooter. You'd just like to see Lee get to the line a little bit more often.
First trip to the line for him here. Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead. The Knicks making a switch here. Thomas is checked in. And they now lead as the free throw drops for him. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Moore with it. He kicks it to Mirotic. Wide open shot is on the money. Mirotic has got 10 points now just in this quarter. It has been nip and tuck through the first half.
Exactly, guys. The way it's seesawed back and forth, unbelievable. Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question. And so it's a close game as we wrap up the first half of basketball. Knicks out front, leading by a point. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. AD, you see how they're playing you in the first half. What's the adjustment going to be?
So, we got to come out with a great intensity, and it starts in the warm-up. So we got to come out with a great intensity, great mindset, and try to go out there and win the third quarter.
I have never heard anyone say it starts in warm-ups until now. Thanks, AD. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here. Got Shaq, got Kenny the Jet Smith, We welcome you back to the halftime show on 2K Sports. There was no stopping Kristaps Porzingis in the first half. He had 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Taking a look at the Knicks, Kenny, what'd you think?
Well, their success was largely about second chance points. They crashed the offensive boards heavy in the first half. I love how they fight for every 50-50 ball like it's the last ball on earth.
Shaq, how do you think New Orleans played?
Aggressive. I called them up earlier. I like it. They're taking it hard to the rack, dictating the pace, setting the physical tone. You're not going to get that by launching threes all night. Everybody knows that.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
Welcome back to New Orleans as we take a gentle cruise down the Mississippi River before returning to action. And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. You look at DeMarcus Cousins in this game, he has been everywhere.
And through the first 2 quarters, they went to him repeatedly in the post, and boy, did he deliver.
And why not, Greg, right? If you continue to produce, just get him shot after shot. Super assertive right now on the interior.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. The star big men pair of Davis and Cousins are up front. Rajon Rondo is out there with Holiday, and it's Liggins in at the 3 spot. So that's the group out there for New Orleans. And it's blocked. And DeAndre Liggins picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Ntilikina. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Here's Hardaway. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Rondo's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Davis, the pass to Holiday. Comes up empty down low.
Boy, the defense gets into his head and alters his release when he really doesn't have to.
Moutier kicks to Hardaway. Five to shoot. There's a screen by Cantor. Lets it go with a 3. And it's Hardaway again missing. The shot's good from Cantor. Cantor's got his team on the board first here in the second half for the Knicks. Pelicans trail by 3. Outside Rondo. Dishes it to Liggins. Porzingis with the block.
Porzingis so fast off the floor when he challenges a shot. Helps him get a lot of blocks like that one.
Outside Hardaway. From 13. And Davis pulls it down. Davis has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one.
And coming out of the offseason where the Knicks had a really long to-do list, you knew they were going to shake things up and made some moves in free agency and realized they needed to build around Porzingis going forward.
And change was needed badly for the Knicks, and they did that starting with the front office.
Yeah, Knicks fans can have a dire outlook at times, but the team still has a solid foundation. It will take some time for the team to become a true contender again, but having players not be at odds with the front office, definitely a good start.
No good on that one. And he can't hit the second.
You know, the Knicks last season, obviously, they underachieved on the court, and it seemed to me it was the distractions off the court that people will remember perhaps more than the losing. A lot of infighting, some incidents that the team just want to move away from.
And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident.
Screen by Cousins. Rondo dishes to Cousins. And it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. And that's 17 points for DeMarcus Cousins. Doris, one of the bigger stories last season, as you mentioned, was the melodrama that was going on between Carmelo Anthony and the Knicks front office.
You know, Kev, I thought it was a toxic environment that made it difficult for the entire team to function. Really a relief for Melo to see himself in a new situation. I'll tell you, it takes fantastic vision and flawless timing to produce an assist like that.
They get it again. Here's Davis. Hits the layup after the sweet pump fake to freeze the D. Davis has got 6 points.
Just so resourceful as a player. Davis gets the job done inside in all sorts of ways, and that's one of them right there, crashing the offensive glass, getting that second chance bucket.
They set the pick. Porzingis kicks to Cantor. No good that time. Nice D from Cousins. Davis, the pass to Liggins. Now here's Rondo. Defense right on him. Davis nails the 16-footer. And now just a 1-point New York lead.
As dangerous as he is inside, Davis gives opponents nightmares when he's able to get to the mid-range. He's very reliable when he steps back and takes the jump shot.
Here's Cantor. And the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
And you gotta love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of a grinded out game.
And Greg, with Enes Kanter last season, he had to miss significant time with the broken hand, but his offensive game is something to watch when he's healthy.
He just plays hard. He provides that instant offense off the bench, a great array of post moves to pick from.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Well, Enes Kanter continues to prove his worth, guys. An outstanding player on the offensive end.
Outside Holiday. Here's Liggins. Porzingis with the block. Hardaway against Cousins. And Davis pulls it down. Davis has got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. And a wide open look for Rondo. A second chance effort. And it's Davis missing.
Well, this is a tough night so far. They'd be smart to rely more on a couple of their other options.
New York, no good that time either.
He had a make from downtown in the first half, but no threes since then.
Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
If there's a list of the best inside scorers in the NBA, Davis has got to be right at the top. When he gets his hands on the ball down low, you might as well just count it.
3 trips to the line so far for him in this one. Thomas checked in for Porzingis. New York's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Moutier dishes to Cantor. With some arc, it doesn't go for him. Davis with some nice D. And Holiday kicks to Cousins. Stolen by Cantor. Pass to Ntilikina. The basket good off the assist from Moutier. Moutier's got 3 assists tonight.
And Ntilikina has that nifty floater. He just gets it up so fast, making it virtually unblockable.
From 12 feet out, Rondo with some nice D.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
The feed to Liggins. Here's Davis. The Knicks pull it in. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's on Rajon Rondo.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
The Knicks have gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances.
Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one. New Orleans making a switch here. Mirotic is checked in. That misses, so he splits the free throws. Greg, when you watch DeMarcus Cousins play, you can see the beating he takes in the post, can't you?
Yeah, and that's just how it goes with star centers, with the size and activity of Cousins. Just like Shaq in the sense, big bruising centers are hard to officiate. Other players can lay into them and not even make a dent, but anyone else, it would be a foul.
He's been heating it up since the break, getting some excellent looks right now.
Here's Ntilikina. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
And how about the body control from Ntilikina there? Finds ways to finish through the contact. Really terrific at using his size to his advantage.
And Frank Ntilikina out of France, played pro ball in Germany, and a lot of fans in the U.S. might not be as familiar with him. But for NBA execs and scouts, that's their job. Ntilikina has a game worthy of their attention.
Looking who's out there now for the Pelicans. Miller's checked in for Cousins. E'Twaun Moore comes in for Drew Holiday. And Ian Clark subbed in for Rajon Rondo. In a draft stock with point guards, Ntilikina's court vision, Greg, might be the best of them all.
I mean, he's a true pure point guard. At the same time, a good shooter. The length to defend wings, so that versatility makes him one of the more valuable prospects.
And Thomas has it in the corner. Drains the three-pointer. Thomas got 5 now.
How about that catch and release? Lance Thomas showing why he's poised and ready to provide anything this team needs.
Davis sets a screen. Passes it to Mirotic. He feeds it to Miller. Trying to find Davis. He's got it now. Shoots over Cantor. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
The first free throw is good. A different look for New York. Kyle O'Quinn comes in for Cantor. And it's Lee in for Ntilikina. And so Anthony Davis nails both of them. The Knicks leading by 6. Burke, the pass to Beasley. Shoots from the baseline. Yes, that goes in. He's got 8.
Well, the height advantage in this matchup becomes a big factor when he's in the low box.
Davis sets a screen. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's going to go on Trey Burke. The first one falls. Diallo, he's checked in for New Orleans. And so Clark nails both of them. The Knicks with the lead. Now here's Burke. He's got 6. On its way from Beasley for 2. They get it back. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
You don't necessarily have to be explosive. For O'Quinn there with the solid frame, it's about being smart and drawing contact.
This is his first free throw of the game. He's off on the first.
What we have watched these first few seasons of his career is a steady improvement at the line for O'Quinn. He is showing he can knock them down consistently.
He hits the second from the line. Here's Clark. He's got 13. Kicks it to Mirotic. Back to Clark. Here's Diallo. Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
And way to finish and cut into that lead a little bit.
Yeah, but look at the basket guy still shaking. Lee kicks to Beasley. Now the dish to Thomas. That's tipped. And here comes Moore leading the fast break. Got it from 16 feet. And now just a 3-point New York lead. New York's gone 1 of 4 in 3-point shots here in the third. Picked by O'Quinn for 3. Beasley. It's hauled in by Diallo. New Orleans has gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Here's Miller. A stupendous finish in traffic. Miller's got 6. The Knicks shooting 40% from the field. Feeds to Thomas. And stolen by Miller. One-on-one fast break. Here's Mirotic. And they take the lead. 12 points for him.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Burke kicks to O'Quinn. Beasley the screen. Inside. Stolen. Guys, a potent offense right now.
You know what, guys? And they're playing with a certain amount of assuredness in their game. That type of confidence is what leads teams to having success.
Moore with the steal. And a fast break now for the Pelicans. The 11-footer. Here's Miller. No good on that one. Now the Knicks take it the other way. Lee outside. 13 feet away. And it comes off the front of the rim. Here's New Orleans. They're on a 12-3 run. On the wing, Miller. Puts up a 3. Connects from 3-point range. And the Pelicans lead by 4.
Well, he works to find the open space behind the arc, and it pays off with the 3. Nice.
Here's O'Quinn. It's good. The assist that time from Burke.
What you like about O'Quinn in the mid-range is how quickly he pulls up for that shot.
These guys have had some good motion on offense. Nice assisting.
And when everyone's involved offensively, it has a way of helping you on the defensive side as well.
And Moore kicks to Mirotic. And it's Clark in the corner. 6 on the shot clock. Yep, that one goes in there. Clark's got 15 points.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Burke dishes to Thomas. He gets it in there. Thomas got 5 points now in the quarter.
Well, this guy battles for everything he can get. Lance Thomas absorbs the hit, completes the play. Classic Lance Thomas.
Clark kicks to Diallo. Here's Clark. Burke covering. Clark, the pass to Miller. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. He's got 11.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Beasley the screen. Burke kicks to Beasley. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Diallo's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Pass to Mirotic. Fires for 3. It's rebounded by New York. O'Quinn's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. It's Beasley on the wing. Gets the jumper from the corner to fall. New Orleans in the lead. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. And it's Moore penetrating. The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
And here is Burke. He's got 6. He dishes it to Beasley. From 11 feet away, that one off the back iron and out. And that's going to do it for the 3rd quarter. Pelicans lead by 4. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The 4th quarter is coming up next. Let's take a listen now to Alvin Gentry.
All right, guys, remember what we said now. Hey, play our basketball. We've been doing a great job. Let's keep it up, okay? Let's go now.
Alvin Gentry has found an identity that's working, and that makes everything a lot easier on both ends.
And collectively, you really need to remember what that feels like so you can recapture it if and when things start to get a little shaky. You want to be able to trust in who you are.
All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. 4th quarter should be good. On the court for the Knicks, Porzingis is the 4 with O'Quinn at the 5. Lee out there with Burke, and it's Beasley in at the small forward. Now here's Burke. Defense is right there. Here's Porzingis. It's good. The assist that time from Burke. Burke's got 6 assists now in the game.
You know, Porzingis' size obviously will make him a threat at the rim, but that athleticism a problem as well.
Screen by Cousins. And that one's good by Clark. Clark's got the lead back up to 7 now for New Orleans.
Absolutely fearless. I mean, a nice subtle adjustment there going up against Wynn.
And to me, that's all about the body control, right, Greg? I mean, he does such a stellar job sizing up his man and drains it despite having the size on him.
Offensive rebound. At the top of the key, Cousins. The pass to Clark. Here's Diallo. O'Quinn defending. Diallo kicks to Clark. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
The wide open look here for Porzingis. It's good from long range.
When things come together for Porzingis, he can be too much to handle for any defender.
Screen by Cousins. Clark kicks to Liggins. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
If he were shooting a bit better tonight, they'd be much further ahead in the scoreboard.
Good. 8 points for Trey Burke. New Orleans has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the 4th. Cousins with a screen on Lee. The drive by Cousins. The bucket is good. He'll have a chance for one more. Porzingis. And so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game.
And guys, this is where their depth really comes into play. They've got such talent at that position. They'd love to have him out there, but they won't suffer much of a drop-off.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Davis is checked in for Diallo. Holiday comes in for Ejuan Moore. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Ian Clark. And that one falls for Cousins.
This is where we see Cousins a lot. He's always up there among the league leaders in free throw attempts. It's so hard to handle in the post. The D just never knows what to do with it.
Cantor with a screen on Holiday. Dishes it to O'Quinn. It's stolen by Davis. And pushing it up, here's New Orleans. Holiday with the ball. Rondo gets the bucket.
And it takes a lot to alter the shot of Rondo. He's fantastic at staying strong through the contact.
Moutier dishes to Hardaway. There's a screen by Cantor. Off the pick. Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Got him with the pump fake, but couldn't finish.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
No doubt it's been a rough game for him. I don't think he's going to lose any sleep over it as long as they hang on to the lead the rest of the way.
That one goes. Count it.
The efficiency of Enes Kanter is impressive. This guy's massive on the blocks and knows how to score.
Rondo passes to Liggins. Here's Cousins, and he sinks the shot coming off the strong pick. Cousins has got the lead up to 7 now for New Orleans. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Moutier kicks to Hardaway. There's a screen by Cantor. Hardaway with a wide open look. And again, it's New York.
I tell you, Cantor demonstrating what a good teammate this guy is. He's selfless enough to give up his body.
Rondo dishes to Cousins. Outside Holiday. Stolen by O'Quinn. Now here's Moutier. He's covered by Rondo. Pass to Ntilikina. And he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle, too.
And you can see he's been working on that post game. Ntilikina showing some skill set down on that low block, using that length to his advantage.
Thomas checked in for New York. And that one falls for Ntilikina.
And Ntilikina, he possesses that unselfishness that really allows his guys to play their best basketball. You got to love his approach.
A shot by Holiday. Nobody around. But they'll get another chance. Here's Cousins. Lets the three fly. That's good from Holiday on the assist by Cousins. That's 10 points for Drew Holiday.
And one of the stories of the second half has been all of those second chance points. I mean, they have been terrific on the offensive backboard.
Here's Ntilikina, guarded by Holiday. Ntilikina can't hit.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
Davis. It's hauled in by Thomas. Knicks trail by 5. Pass to Ntilikina. Back to Moutier. Thomas a screen. They set the pick. Cantor with the screen on Rondo. Just 5 on the clock. There's a screen by Cantor. Goes up at the stripe. Pelicans with the rebound. Davis has got rebound number 13 for him here tonight. Rondo passes to Davis. Screen by Cousins. Back to Davis. And it's Rondo penetrating. And that one falls coming off of Davis's feed.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Thomas against Davis. Thomas, no good. New Orleans leading by 7. And Holiday kicks to Liggins. New Orleans moving it around. And he overdid it there. Too much force, it looked like, on the foul, and he's called for the flagrant.
And Kevin, I got to tell you, he's probably fortunate to just get a flagrant one there. I mean, so much contact. The officials easily could have gone even harder on it.
Greg, I agree. He better be on his best behavior from now on. One more flagrant of any variety, and he's out of here. And that one falls for DeMarcus Cousins. And so he makes both from the line.
And they didn't shoot it very well from the line in the first half, but they've gotten much better since halftime, and it's helped them to secure the lead.
Williams, he's checked in for New York. Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
And he could tell his guys starting to wear down a little bit. Call time to just let them get their legs back under them.
And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, DeMarcus Cousins.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. That has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, look, here's what Alvin Gentry told his team during the break. He still wants them to be aggressive and assertive on offense. He said, I don't want us to get content with this lead. Build on it. Don't give them any chance of getting back in this thing. Kevin?
Thank you, David.
My goodness, get right in his grill and force him to alter the shot. That's tough defense in the post.
Pelicans leading by 9. And Holiday, here we go. And Cousins kicks to Davis over Williams. That's good from Davis on the assist by Cousins. 17 points for Anthony Davis.
After an ice-cold start to this game, he is pouring it on here in the second half.
Cantor with a screen on Holiday. Here's Ntilikina. Here's Cantor. And a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket. Cantor's got 11 points here in just the second half. Screen by Cousins. Rondo kicks to Holiday. High post Cousins. And they double up Cousins. Now Hardaway. He kicks to Moutier. The feed to Williams. Over Davis. That one rolling around and rims out.
Well, they get it to the high percentage area, and then it all goes wrong from there.
Holiday dishes to Cousins. And then Cousins with the dunk.
Yeah, and the long reach of Cousins really enables him to hammer home some skyscraping jams.
Knicks trail by 11. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Cantor sets the pick for Hardaway. Williams against Davis. And Davis sends it back.
He's got that huge wingspan, and boy, does he use it well on the defensive end. If Davis is within shouting distance of the shooter, there's a good chance he'll get a hand on it.
The Knicks making a switch here. Beasley's checked in. New York's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Moutier passes to Beasley. And Davis sends it back.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Doris, we've seen a number of aging players really change their bodies through better nutrition and improved fitness conditioning. Do you think we'll see more guys even extending it further, playing into their 40s in the NBA?
Well, how great would it be to see LeBron James play into his 40s? You look at a guy in the NFL, a much more physically demanding game in terms just of the hitting that's done in the game. Tom Brady approaching his 40th year. Incredible. And LeBron James would be the player I point to. There's a guy 6'8", 200 and whatever he is, probably 65 pounds, who every single day puts time into the process of keeping his body healthy. It's great. His greatness has been sustained, but he pays a price to get there, Kevin.
And Doris, you can change your body and you can change your game too as you grow old.
That's a great point. Think about how much of a low post scorer Kobe Bryant became later on in his career,
yes.
Because the elevation,
Great example.
his ability to elevate, so different.
Great example. Passes it to Hardaway. He feeds it to Beasley. Beasley with the screen on Rondo. Moutier softly drops in the floater.
I'll tell you, the floater is a shot that takes great touch, but that one looks pretty leaving his fingertips.
Makes it off the glass. And the Pelicans lead by 12.
That makes any coach happy. You don't force a tough shot, but you get a quality look from close range. Nice.
New York calls timeout.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Well, I think they've got to ramp up the pressure. There's no excuse for letting them score at will in the paint. Make them feel you.
Hardaway kicks to Moutier. There's the screen. Back to Hardaway. Here's Ntilikina, guarded by Holiday. Ntilikina can't hit.
I'll tell you, he's had a tough night. And if you're going to shake out of a slump, he is not going to do it with those kinds of shots.
And a fast break now for New York. And Davis pulls it down. Davis has got rebound number 17, if you can believe that. Outside Rondo. Kicks to Liggins. A three ball. Knicks with the rebound.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
We've got 1:48 left in the fourth quarter. An open look for Beasley. The basket good off the assist from Moutier. Moutier's got his fourth assist with that last one here tonight. Outside Rondo. Now the dish to Liggins. Over Hardaway. Liggins, no good. Knicks trail by 10. Moutier with the ball. He's picked up by Rondo. There's 1:17 left to play in the final quarter. Moutier, no good. New Orleans with the ball. They're on a 14-6 run. Screen by Cousins. Rondo kicks to Holiday. Here's Davis. Feeds it to Cousins. Pass to Rondo. Cousins with a screen for Rondo. Looks for Holiday. Gets it to him. Stolen by Cantor. And now the Knicks on the break. Goes up. And then Hardaway with the dunk.
And we talk about this a lot. Turnovers leading to transition points.
Right, they're making it easy for the opposition. You can't afford to cough the ball up like that.
Up by double digits, little time remaining. Way to defend your house.
Well, this is what you call taking care of your business, showing dominance on their home floor. What an excellent effort.
There's a screen by Cantor. And there's Hardaway. That's good on the assist for Moutier.
A steady screen set on that play, and the defense disappears. Nice communication between teammates to make that play work.
Rondo with it. So we see the Pelicans get the win here. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. And I think they built off that edge of being here and play with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Anthony, tell us the focus for the team coming into the game tonight.
Well, before we started the game, Coach came in and told us that we knew what we had to do. We were trying to stop a lot of their actions, and our biggest focus for the game was guard the ball. That's what we did, come out of that timeout and never look back.
And it led to a win. Thank you for your time, Anthony. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you next time.